All right, hey, this is Sid Owsley from the Determination Determines Destination podcast, where we share stories of the three Ds. Determination determines destination. We share people's stories of how they use these three principles to overcome challenges and obstacles in their life. And today I have with me Esaveri, the 5 to 9 CEO. Esaveri is a passionate speaker, a business coach, a positive influence, and an entrepreneur. She is most known for using her voice and story to inspire, motivate, and empower people to stay positive, dream big, live an intentional life, and fulfill their purpose. She is also the host and founder of the 5 to 9 CEO broadcast. She uses her channel to inspire career professionals and everyday people, teaching that it's possible to transform from a 9 to 5 into full-time entrepreneurship and live the life of their dreams. She believes in being resilient towards towards your goals. Esaveri, the 5 to 9 CEO, loves to inspire people and has been attracting many audiences and impacting lives, which stems from her passion, drive, and commitment. How you doing today, Esaveri?
Fantastic, Sid. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic too. So
Awesome. I just want to be sure you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Okay, I was just adjusting my mic. I'm doing great, and I'm so blessed to be in the presence of greatness.
And I just have to tell you, thank you. Thank you very much. I just
You're-
want to tell you, you're rocking that head wrap. I like that.
Woo! I was trying it out. So all through this week, it's been head wrap week.
I see. That looks nice.
Thank you.
So tell us the story of how you use what I call the three Ds of success. Determination determines destination in your life, overcome obstacles and challenges, and arrive at where you're at now in life.
Thank you. That's a beautiful question. Thank you so much, Sid. I love the job that you're doing here. The 3Ds resonate so much with me. Determination determines destination. Awesome. So today I want to share a little bit about my story. And I think my background, my story from where I'm coming from perfectly explains how you can apply the 3Ds into your life. So I came into the United States precisely about 10 years ago. And the reason for me relocating to the States was because at that point in my life, I was at a down moment. I'm sure a lot of women can relate with this. I found myself, I was married then for about 4 years. And for some reason, the marriage wasn't going as it should. Every marriage comes with its challenges, ups and downs. But at that point, even though I was in a very low point in my life, I woke up one morning and I made up my mind that I was not going to stay down. Life may knock you down. There's a popular saying by Les Brown. He uses it all the time. He says, when life knocks you down, just ensure that you can look up. Just ensure that you position yourself in such a way that you can look up. Because if you're just falling down, then you're just falling down. Ensure that even as you're going down, your back is on the ground, but you want to look up. And it takes determination to look up. It says, because if you can look up, then you can get up.
That's right.
It takes determination to get up. So there's a lot of effort. It's not just about all the things that are happening to you. When life happens to you, you have to be determined. You have to make up your mind. You have to put action into it. Determination means action. At that point, even though it was a very low moment in my life, I knew that a lot depended on me. I knew that I had to do something if I wanted to change the situation. And that was when I decided that I was going to change my fate, that I was just not going to allow life just keep me down. I was going to get up. I was going to push forward. I was not going to allow the setback keep me down. I was not going to allow the name that people were going to call me keep me in a box. I wanted to get out of the box, because if you are in the frame, you can't see the box. There's another way we put it. If you're in the box, you can't read the label. I wanted to use my story to change lives. And the only way I could do it was to push myself. I was determined to provide my children with a stronger future. I wanted them to look back and say, yes, even though we had those setbacks, we were able to come back. I just did not want to sit back, because sometimes when people want to come back from that setback, they sit back and then they stay in that place of self-pity. I didn't want that to happen. I knew I was going to have to sojourn to a strange land. I knew I was going to start afresh. It takes determination to leave everything that you've been used to for all the years, to walk away from your family, to walk away from your friends for good. It takes determination to get to a land that you know pretty much that you are going to have to rip yourself from your beginning just to be able to start afresh. Yeah. It takes determination to come to a land with your accent and still push through. I stood up and I moved. It was not easy, but you know, sometimes when you go through that situation, it will not be easy, but it's going to be worth it for sure. Yeah. It wasn't easy. I picked up my 2 kids and we came to the United States. It was very rough at the beginning, very, very rough. The first couple of years was very rough, but I was determined that I was going to succeed. I wanted to break the mold. There was a lot of sayings around me. You need to pay the price. There's a level you get to before you can begin to succeed. As soon as I stepped into this land, I determined that I was going to succeed. And I wasn't just going to succeed. I was going to succeed quickly because I wanted to use my story. I wanted to use my story to impact other lives. They said our story will become other people's blueprint. I wanted to use my story to empower other women. I knew even in my low state that I was determined that I was going to come up with a story that I would share around the world. I called it then. I wrote it down. That's why it's good to write your goals down. If you're watching me and you are thinking it in your head, transfer it to paper, script it out, because you can look at it, you can go back to it, and it will keep reminding you and pushing you. I wrote it down. I said, I'm going to be great in this land, and I'm going to share my story in this land, in this strange land. I was very determined, and I started to work towards it. And that's why I said determination comes with action. Right. If there was anything that I wanted, that was a goal, I wrote it down. One thing I also did was I identified what I wanted from the beginning. I knew what I wanted from the beginning. So you have to be very intentional and deliberate about your life. I don't know where you are in right now. Don't just sit there and say, you know what, whatever will be, will be. No, look for something that can keep you focused. That was what I did. I told myself I wanted to have a job in this land. I don't care how long it took other people, but I wanted it. I wanted to be in corporate America, and I wanted to do it fast. That's why I said you have to do it fast too. That was something I told myself I was going to do, and I achieved it. In less than 6 years, I was able to work myself into corporate America. I was able to walk myself up the ladder. I didn't want to be in the box. I had to break the mold. And how did I do it? I was very determined. People that know me can testify that as soon as I put my mind to do something, it takes determination. I had a destination. I had a goal. I'm going for it. And it still happens up until this day. Never stop dreaming. If you want good life, don't sit back on your couch and expect it to happen. Go for it. Write it down. Say it to yourself every day. Memorize it. As you walk along on the street, tell yourself, I don't want it. If you're not tired, if you're tired of staying, you have to be tired of staying in that situation. If you're not tired, there's a quote that says, if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to leap, nobody can help you. But if you're willing, no one can stop you. Nothing can stop you. The government cannot stop you. Once you are determined, nothing can stop you. You just have to have that mentality. It takes a lot of courage to do that. But everything depends on you. Nobody will do it for you. And that's how I found myself today. That's how I have been going. And I'm still in the process. I'm not there yet. But every time I want something, I set it as a goal. I want it. I work towards it. Look for those nice things, beautiful things that you want. Write it down. I'm going to be doing a course very soon talking about vision board. I just learned how to create my vision board. And it's a very good concept because that way you can see it. You know, you write it down and then you can see, get pictures of it. Is there a house that you want to live in? Go take a picture of the house and look at it every day. Tell yourself, don't look at your situation. Is there a course you want to sign up for? Go in and jump in. Trust me, when you are in the process, things will come into place. But guess what? If you're looking at your bank account, you will not be able to do it. You have to be determined to jump in. Once you jump in, the things is like the lines will fall for you in pleasant places. And that's what has been my story. That's what I've used to achieve everything that I've achieved up until this point. That's why I'm called the 5 to 9 CEO. It took determination. I told myself, I don't want to be stuck on a job. I got the job. It was a goal at that point, right? I was determined to get it. I got it. But as soon as I got it, I knew I didn't want to settle. It's a bad thing to settle. Don't ever settle in life because there's always more. There are always lives to be touched. If you feel you've made a lot of money, there are people that need money. There are projects that needs to be done. I didn't want to settle. And so that's how I turned that around. I'm like, what is it about this 9 to 5 that keep people stuck? I don't want to be here for 35 years, 40 years. And then when I get there, I still think about it again. You know what? I might have to work a little bit, you know, because the money that the government has saved for me may not be enough. I didn't want that. So you have to always think. And it takes determination. And that's how I turned it around. I turned the 9 to 5 around and I made it a 5 to 9. And I was very, very deliberate about it. And I'm so happy to share that I am living the life that I planned. I'm living the goal. I'm living the dream life of the 5 to 9 CEO. You don't have to wait. Do it now. You can start now.
That's awesome. I like how you turn around. So you turn around from 5 to 9 to 9 to 5 to a 5 to 9.
Yes.
CEO. So in creating your 5 to 9 CEO concept, what are some of the things that you did? What are the things that, you know, you're in the Les Brown course, you know, what are some of the things that you've done to propel you towards the goal that you're living now? And you know, how they're going to propel you forward from there?
Great question. Thank you, Sid. So first of all, the 5 to 9 concept, it started during the pandemic. You know, I've been sharing this story. In the midst of the calamity, in the midst of problems, in the midst of challenges, a wise man will look for opportunities. There's always a blessing disguised in that downfall. Even as you are in that place right now, there's always something. Always ask yourself, what can I do? And that was where the question came for me. There was a lot of chaos online. There was fear.
Yeah.
People were losing jobs. People were dying. People were infected in one way or the other. People couldn't travel. People couldn't move. People were stuck. And I just thought to myself, I said, you're a positive person. But for your light to shine, it has to shine in the midst of darkness. So even if it's just one person, who can you light up? Whose face can you put a smile on? And that's why I thought about starting, because I've been thinking about the 5 to 9. I didn't have a name for it then. But, you know, while I was on my job, I used to think about, you know, how can I, you know, do something? How can I start something? How can I begin to influence people and things like that? But I didn't have a name. So during the pandemic, I thought about a name and it just came. You know, and when it came, it just sounded right because, like I said, it was like a vision board for me. And I decided to take it online. And at that point, I felt, you know, which is what makes people stay down sometimes. You're waiting for things to be perfect. The thought came like, why would you go and be talking about, because I am a network marketer, right? I have a network marketing company and I've been working on growing my network marketing company. I've grown in the company, but there's a status that I want to get to. And I thought about it that if I go with the network marketing concept, people are going to look at me like, you haven't even gotten to the status that you're trying to get to. And here you are talking about how you want to help people, which is what keeps people down sometimes, you know. You know, you want to talk about something. It's like somebody wants to, let me use a pastor. A pastor is praying for his member to get pregnant and have a baby, but the pastor's wife hasn't even been able to conceive, right? It's like a man that has been through divorce coming out, or somebody like Steve Harvey educating people on how to find the best woman or how to find the best man when he's gone through 3 divorces himself, right? So those thoughts are thoughts that stop people most of the time, because your mind will begin to tell you, you know what, I'm not even qualified to talk about this in the first place, right? I don't even know enough. And that's what keeps us stuck. But we have to be able to push through, because you don't have to be perfect to start. You don't have to be great to start. You have to start to be great. You have to start to be perfect. Okay? There's a quote that says, perfect is the enemy of done.
Yeah.
If you're waiting for things to be perfect, you will never do it. You will never take that leap, because it will never be perfect. Right. So I started to have those those thoughts come into my mind. How dare you think of starting a Facebook page where you want to educate people? Because I'm part of a community. I'm part of a marketing community. I've always been developing myself. I'm part of attraction marketing, right? And so there, I started to think of, if I start a Facebook page, people are going to think that, what have you achieved? Who are you, right? They said when a man opens his mouth and wants to talk, the first question people are thinking is, who are you? What do you have? And why should I care? And so those thoughts started to come into my mind, like, you're not even qualified to talk. You're not these big celebrities. People don't even know you. And so who is going to listen to your life? Who is going to, what do you have to say? But I had to push that thought away. So if you're having that thought, take it and throw it away in the box, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have to start to be great, right? Yeah. And so I jumped in and I started the page and I started to share. My goal is to share from a place of value, right? Lead from a place of curiosity. It shouldn't just be all about you meet somebody, come and join me kind of thing. So I started to educate people how they can turn their cold market into warm market. I love to meet people. I love to associate. I love to build relationships. So I thought about it. How about I just go online? After all, I can't even go visit anybody anyways. Oh. I can just go online and begin to make new friends. I love to meet people. I'm not going to let this thing that is happening around me, affect me. Right? They said we need to be aware of the things that are happening around us, but we don't need to be consumed. The problem is, a lot of times people get consumed in that thing that is happening around them. It's not like you shouldn't be aware of the news. I know what's going on CNN, trust me, but I'm not consumed. And that's how I stay happy, right? And so I went online and I started to share, and funny enough, it started to work like unexpectedly, because I thought people were not going to listen to me. But everybody has something that somebody needs. Yeah, right. No matter the state that you are in life, you have something, and you're not doing justice if you hold on to that thing. You don't want to share. You don't want anybody to hear your story. You don't want to talk to people. You don't want to associate with people because you think you are holding back. But guess what? You are holding something that somebody needs. Yeah. And then I started to speak. I realized that I had a lot in me when I started to speak. I started to share. If I go learn and then I come back and share on my platform, right? And I realized I was getting a lot of love. I was getting a lot of feedback. People were coming back to say, oh, Lord, that thing you shared, it gave me direction. And that propelled me. That kind of encouraged me to keep going. And then one day, because I am hungry, there's a book called You've Got to Be Hungry, right? Yeah. If you want to create an impact, if you want to be a leader, you have to have a mentor. You have to have a coach. You cannot, throw that in the back burner. It has to be upmost on your list. Yeah. And so, like I told you, I became a member of Attraction Marketing. Attraction Marketing is a forum where, I'm being coached and I'm learning a lot. There are industry leaders and things like that, right? But I wasn't, that was helping me, but I wanted more, because I knew I was going to be, I could see the future of the 5 to 9 CEO, even in my early days. I wanted to take the platform to the whole world. And so I told myself, if I'm going to have this crazy dream of taking this platform to the whole world, then I need to learn how to speak, right? Yeah. And that's how I started to follow Les Brown. We all know Les Brown. Les Brown resonates so much with me. There are lots of motivational speakers out there, but Les Brown resonates so much with me. Yeah. And I looked him up and then I started to follow him. And you know, sometimes the desires of our heart, they say God listens to our hearts cry. You know, sometimes there's some things, secret prayer that you may not be able to tell anyone, but God hears you. And he says, I will grant you the desires of your heart. I have a coach. We have a coach called John Talarico in the Thinking into Result program that we do with Bob Proctor, right? And there's a line that he says that keeps coming back every time. He says, what you're seeking is seeking you.
Yeah.
When I lay on my bed, I'm thinking, okay, I want to take this thing, but I knew I had to develop myself. I wanted to speak. If I'm going to share my platform, people are going to hear me speak. And one day I was listening to Les Brown. He also came online. He wasn't online, remember? Les Brown used to come online. He just used to go speak on stages all around the world, but he was also back home. And he started his platform online, and I started to follow him. He released the book. I was actually there when he released the book, You've Got to Be Hungry. I went on, I bought it because it resonated with me. He said, you've got to be hungry. There should be something, and there's a desire that is burning in you. I bought the book. I read the book. I was like, oh my God, wow, this is so interesting, right? And then one day I heard him say, if you want to learn how to speak, I'm looking for people that I can train. I'm looking for people that I can pass my legacy on. I'm looking for people that want to share their story in such a way that people will know them, that people will like them, that people will trust them. I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm looking for. Remember, that's what I was yearning for. That's what I was crying for. But I didn't know how. I didn't even imagine it. I didn't even think that Les Brown was going to call out that offer. But it happened. And I jumped on board. Who wouldn't? I jumped on board because it was my prayer. And I got in and realized that it was a total package.
Yep.
I learned how to share my story. I used to think that sharing my story was a big burden in me. I was thinking, oh, you know, number one, I don't even want people to know my story. I don't want people, and like, you know, but he taught me how to say my story. He's taught us how to say our stories in a way that people can know us. I applied it to my business, how to share my business in a way that people can know you. Yeah. You know, any kind of business that you are doing out there, you have to first of all establish a relationship. People need to know you. And how will people know you? You have to be determined to come out for people to know you, right? And then you have a destination. The destination is that people will trust you and do business with you. And so that's how I joined the program. That led me, you know, months into the program, I got selected to share the stage with Les Brown, to share my story. Do you see how everything has been aligning? And I shared the story on that platform, shared the stage with him on the platform. And a lot of people resonated with my story. A lot of people reached out to me. A lot of doors have been opened since then. I cannot lie to you, see. A lot of doors have opened since I shared the stage in October. A lot of people have been reaching out to me. They want me to tell them the story about the 5 to 9 CEO. Remember, it started as a dream. It started as a thought at the beginning. I had a desire. I had a destination, but I was determined. I wanted to do it. And I'm still working on it. We're not there yet. You know, the world, there's still a lot of people out there that needs to hear your story. Don't keep it, you know. So it's still a work in progress, but I'm just happy, you know, for where it has brought me to. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing. It doesn't have to be perfect. I always say that.
That's right. You brought up some great points. That's very, you know, you talked about, you know, like you say, you don't have to be perfect to get started. You have to start.
Yeah.
Be perfect. You know, you mentioned the Thinking into Results program and Les Brown and how that has helped you, and having the importance of having a mentor. You know, so many people are looking to do things and they think they have to do it by themselves. And they don't realize that having a coach, having a mentor can get you there faster. You know? Exactly. Yes, you'll pay some money, but that money is an investment into yourself.
Exactly.
Into your development. And so as you've experienced, that investment is paying off bigger than what you probably even imagined.
Exactly. You're right, Sid. The best investment, there are lots of investment out there. I mean, I'm sure we know the list goes on and on. But the best investment that nobody can steal from you, nobody can take it from you. It remains with you for the rest of your life. It's the investment in yourself.
So true. So for the 5 to 9 CEO, what are your future plans for this concept that you created? You know, where are you looking to take the 5 to 9 CEO concept?
Okay, so the 5 to 9 CEO concept, of course, originally started because I was making an effort to reach out to busy entrepreneurs like myself that are hungry to start a side business, right? Because not everybody, some people are in the 5 to 9, some people are in the 9 to 5 and they are satisfied with what they are doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking to those people, right? And I'm not judging those people either. So if you're in a 9 to 5 and you're enjoying what you're doing, everybody is not called to be an entrepreneur, right? So I started but there's some people that are in the 5 to 9, there's some people that are in the 9 to 5, but they are not happy.
Yeah. Right.
They are scared or they are hungry for more. And what they're doing is they feel like, I don't want to let go. I can't imagine myself letting go because if I let go, I don't know what's going to happen to my family and things like that. But sometimes some people the worst part is some people are stuck in the 9 to 5. We say that we're in the 9 to 5, or they say you're in the 9 to 5 because it pays bill, but it's not even paying all the bills, in quotes, right? So, but because I've been on different, because my career, I've been working for a while, right? I started my career back home in the airlines, Virgin Airlines, if you're familiar with that. I worked with the Virgin Airlines for 6 years before I relocated to the United States, started afresh, and then ended up in the IT sector. So I was an IT business analyst before I left corporate while I was in corporate America, right? So a lot of times, because I've gone through a lot of these transition moments, and I know I kind of have an idea that a lot of people stay on the 9 to 5 and it's not really paying the bills, in quotes, because people, if you take statistics, a lot of people are in the 9 to 5, and it may not be 9 to 5 for you, maybe 7 to 7, it may be 8 to 8, whatever hours that you work, but it's not even paying the bills. Or maybe you're stuck in 3 jobs or in 4 jobs. So you're always looking for something to add to it, right? So a side hustle, what we call a side gig. And so my message was to those people that you can build your side gig. I mean, you can continue to do your side gig, or if you're not even in the side gig, you can consider starting up a side, because I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I'm always looking for something to do. I'm always looking for something to sell, no matter what. I've always never settled for anything I'm doing, right from when I was in college, right? So I couldn't see myself, even when I had jobs, wonderful jobs that were taking care of the bills, I still wanted to do more, right? And so I felt if I'm feeling this way, there are a lot of me out there. And so I started to, I wanted to speak to those people. As you're doing your side business, you can put in, your employer pays you for the 9 to 5, but your employer does not determine what happens from 5 to 9. You determines what happens from 5 to 9, right? So if you want to get out of your job, you don't have to wait and you don't have to stay stuck on the job. Be deliberate about what you do. Be intentional about what you do after you leave your job. So that's where the concept started from. After you close for the day, don't spend all the time working. Don't spend all the time putting all your time on your job. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Be intentional about, or selfish about, taking some time after your employer releases you to work on that goal, on that dream, on that thing that you want to do. And so that's where I started to, educate from. That's where I started to, and then of course, proffer solutions and things like that. And if you want to have financial freedom, time freedom, just, start doing that. And I started to talk to people, and a lot of entrepreneurs like me that I was resonating with kind of started to, figure out like, okay, they were reaching out to me and okay, what else can I do? And that's where my business coaching and business consulting comes in, right? I was able to proffer, options like, okay, you can try this out, you can do this on the side, or even if you're doing one side also, maybe you can try another side, or if that one is not working, there are lots of side things that you can do. And so that's my goal. So my goal is to tell entrepreneurs, to tell the people that are stuck in 9 to 5, that are hungry to be their own bosses, not to settle. So it's a platform to inspire them, that they can move, they can take the step, they can jump, they don't have to wait, for the perfect time. And of course, I want to build the brand, the 5 to 9 CEO brand. Like I said, the name came in and it just sounded perfect. I love it. Like, that's something about a name. You have to give yourself a name that when you think about it, like determination, determine destination. I think even I'm happy for you when I hear it, right? So the 5 to 9 CEO, it lights me up just thinking about it, right? And so I want to grow that brand. It's in the workshop. I'll put it that way, right? It's in the workshop, it's in the pipeline. Stay tuned. And especially in the year 2021, I'm looking forward to blowing up the brand. That's just the truth. And there's a lot of brainstorming that is going behind it right now. And of course, the concept behind it, the creative concept behind it is something that I want to, expatiate on. Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, Esavueri, as we get ready to wrap up, tell people how they can get in contact with you, any courses or other things that you have out that people can use to help themselves. Let people know how they can get in contact with you.
Yes. So I am working on a course right now on helping entrepreneurs. I keep saying entrepreneurs, right? On helping people that want to become entrepreneurs, full-time entrepreneurs that want to leave their 9 to 5 and become their own 5 to 9 CEO bosses. I'm working on a course on that because sometimes we just talked about mentorship, right? You want somebody to mentor, you want somebody to coach you. But a lot of times when you're looking for that coach and mentor, you want somebody that has been through it. Yeah. You want to partner with somebody that have felt it, someone that has worn the same shoe that you're wearing, right? So if you're that person out there, what I'm saying resonates with you. You're stuck on a job. You're thinking, oh, how can I do it? Or how can I cope? It's working for Esavueri. So I'm working on a course right now to talk through my journey of how I've been able to go through, like they said, your story, somebody's blueprint, right? Somebody needs that story. So I'm documenting my journey right now. So I'm working on that course. And so it's going to be very, very helpful. And I have some other things that I'm writing in the pipeline that I'm going to release later. I'm going to share those later in the future. And of course, you can reach me on social media. I am very, very accessible. Type my name online, Esavueri, and I will come up. I'm on Facebook, Esavueri, the 5 to 9 CEO, on my personal page. I'm also on Instagram, Esavueri, the 5 to 9 CEO. I also have a free gift on the website that I created just to give you a little bit background about myself and also teach you or show you or share with you how you can leave your comfort zone. So I'm all about leaving that place of comfort, leave that comfort zone. Comfort zone is not really, really comfortable. It's a trick. Don't get trapped. Don't stay in that box, right? So I have a little gift for you there. It's justessay.com, www.justessay.com. There are various ways to reach me. Shoot me, or you can reach out to Seed Ousley. He's doing an awesome job. Reach out to him. He will be very happy to get any message that you want to get across to me. But thank you so much, Seed.
It's great having you on, Esavueri.
Thank you. I love the job that you're doing. Please keep up the good work. Please keep doing what you're doing. People really need to hear. People really need to. You never know the smile that you're putting on people's faces when people come here and share their stories of how they've been able to, go from determination into their destination. So maybe somebody that is sick, the person might be sick and you may be watching this even from the hospital bed, right? It takes determination for you to fight that battle that you are in. So everybody needs this. Everybody needs the 3D. Any situation that you find yourself, you may be down. There's so much mental health problems going on right now, but it takes determination for you to come out of that state of mind. There's nothing that is impossible. The word itself says, I am possible, and it's all in the mind. Have a reason to look up tomorrow and smile.
Thank you. That was awesome, Esavueri. It was great having you on.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks to all our audience. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Steve Owsley from the Determination Determines Destination podcast, where we share stories of people who use the 3Ds to success. Determination determines destination to overcome obstacles and challenges in their life. Thank you for being on. Thank you. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for another episode.
Thank you. Bye-bye.